Sometimes I have dumb ideas. Other times I have very dumb ideas. Today is the second category. I hope you're ready for one of the weirdest techs in the game, the Pigsty. Sejuani was a unit that caught my eye at the very start of set 9, because her ability, and especially her passive, is extremely interesting. Her ability reads that whenever an ally attacks a chilled enemy, a small amount of true damage is dealt to that enemy. When she is full mana, she will cast her active ability, gaining a large shield, dealing magic damage to enemies in a nearby area, and chilling everyone who gets hit. Chill is a keyword for Riot that is used for an attack speed slow effect that can debuff enemy units. There are a total of 5 different ways to apply the chill effect. Orianna, Ashe and Sejuani can apply the effect with their active abilities. Ryze also belongs to this group, but only in the Freyord region, where his ability applies a permanent chilling effect. For items, we only have the Ornn artifact, Eternal Winter, that applies the effect to every unit who is attacking the holder. Now back to Sejuani. The most common play is to give her your tank items, put her in the front line, get some bonus true damage from her passive, and that's pretty much the end of it. The first problem you will encounter is that her passive effect only works while she's alive. If she gets taken out early, you potentially lose out on a lot of damage. My goal here is to maximize her passive true damage. So maybe the answer lies in playing multiple Sejuanis. This unfortunately does not work. The way Sejuani is coded is that only a single Sejuani on your board will be responsible for all of the true damage. It can happen that a weak Sejuani 1-star will take priority over a strong and itemized Sejuani 2-star. This priority remains for the entire fight. So even if the weak Sejuani dies, the other Sejuanis still don't get any use out of their passive. This brings us to the Pigsty tech. We corner our Sejuani in the bottom right so she stays alive for the entire fight. Next, we need to find a way of applying chill to the enemy units. Like I mentioned before, we can best accomplish this with Ashe, Eternal Winter in the front line, or the Freyord Ryze. Personally, I enjoy taking the Ornn Legend anyways, so if you end up taking Eternal Winter as your first item, you can try this out yourself. But play this in Ranked at your own risk. Next, we have to think about the units we want to play. I like running Deadeye units like Ashe, Aphelios and Akshan for 2 reasons. Ashe fits into the setup nicely anyways, and Aphelios is a good user for attack speed items. The second reason is that Deadeye procs are the only thing outside of normal auto attacks that can trigger Sejuani's passive. I tried a lot of things. I had big hopes for Akshan, either for his ability or Hurricane, but none of them will help you to proc Sejuani's passive. So Ginzo's Rageblade will be our item of choice in the end. We are still missing a main tank, and I have to say I kind of like running Nasus for this. It's easy to reach 3 Shurima with Akshan and Renekton. He's a good holder for tank items, and I might be able to sneak in Juggernaut later into the game. So this is our core. Let's get to the fun part. We have an isolated Nasus with Eternal Winter and tank items in the front line. Every enemy unit has to attack him, so they get chilled. This means every unit that gets attacked receives true damage from Sejuani. This can lead to some very interesting interactions. For starters, Morello and Sejuani is great here, because the burn gets applied to every single unit that gets attacked. Thanks to the Deadeye proc, you can also apply the Morello burn in the backline as well. Another item that works well here is Guardbreaker. Every time that a chilled unit gets attacked and has a shield, it will proc the effect. This has an additional synergy with Morello, because the burn from Morello is also capable of activating Guardbreaker, giving you pretty much a constant damage amplifier. As for other items, you can try to increase your damage with a second Guardbreaker, or simply add HP items, since her true damage scales with her HP. Keep in mind that AP items only increase her shield and her magic damage, which we are currently avoiding in the strategy. There are 2 more items I want to highlight. First, we have the Gold Collector. Every time Sejuani deals true damage, she is capable capable of executing the enemy units if they are below 12% of the maximum HP. This can definitely lead to some hilarious gold farming opportunities. The other item is Trickster's Glass. While I did mention beforehand that running a second Sejuani is usually a bad idea, Trickster's Glass seems to be working alright. From what I've tested, the clone will never take priority over your main Sejuani, allowing you to field an additional unit in the front line that can also apply the chill effect. How much true damage can you expect from this? Honestly, it varies. With the help of Morello, you should expect to see a few thousand true damage every fight. Nothing too game breaking right now, but it's always possible that something new is found in the future that helps us to clean up this Pigsty. I hope you learned something and see you next time.